What's up, everybody? Yinka, what's up, Yinka? Von Keisha, what's up? What's up, everybody, man? Appreciate you guys coming to this live. All right, so this is a really good conversation. All right, how relationships can impact your health and your wealth. All right, so if you are somebody that is struggling to get your health in order, or if you're somebody that's a business owner, or a health and fitness coach, a personal trainer, online coach, and you trying to scale your business, right? We're gonna talk about relationships and how it's gonna and how it can impact your health and your wealth. So Lynnette, what's up? Talk to me, man. Can you
What's
introduce
up?
yourself?
Yes. Hey, Coach Harry, I'm so glad that you had me on here with you tonight. And so I
Absolutely.
am Coach Smyer, and I actually help powerful women who are dealing with issues, releasing physical and emotional weight due to bad relationships, negative relationships. That's what we're talking about, y'all, with
Yep.
food, alcohol, and men, so they can really produce in their purpose, own their power. And I do this through the word of God and by exercising for only under an hour per week.
Yes. Yes.
So
Y'all
let's
heard her.
do it.
Y'all heard her. Let's do it. Let's do it. Cool. Cool. So so this is a conversation that hits home for myself and for Lynette. So we figured like this would be a really good space to you know be vulnerable, talk about some things that we went through, and also give you guys, a different perspective on relationships, moving forward so that you can, take your health, and your wealth to the next level. Okay. So what's up? Like you want to kick it off, Lynette? You want me to kick it off? Like it's whatever.
Yeah, so I know for me, we were going to be vulnerable, right? So really talking about relationships because that's my story. That's actually the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing now. And so I was in like a long-term relationship, 7 years, young, college or whatever, that I should not have been in, basically.
Mm,
It was not serving me well. And at that time, I didn't really know my worth. I think he knew more than I knew because
mm,
went away to college and I mean, like put a ring on my finger, like let's get engaged. And I was
mm,
like, okay, that's great. But unbeknownst to me, I think it was more so because okay, she going away, I need to lock her down. But
right.
me like feeling like okay, this is good. So anyway, was in this long term relationship, but I always would feel voids with men because I think like a lot of young women, I was dealing with daddy hurt and so
Mm,
was using relationships to kind of fill those voids. So was in a relationship with him, but I still had plan B because I had issues with trust. So when I
mm,
was away at school, I was doing what I wanted to do, all that kind of stuff. When I came home, I was hanging out with him. And then during the time that I was with him, my father actually passed away.
mm,
And a year after that, a year later, my cousin, single mom of four, 30 years old, she passed away.
mm,
So all due to health reasons, right? So my dad had cancer. My cousin actually had a stroke because she was under a lot of stress. So I think about moms who
mm,
are stressed out, not taking care of themselves first, not doing
right.
their self care, lost her life. And so I was angry. I was angry at God, first of all, because I was in church, that sort of thing too. Angry at
Yep.
God, just angry because they were gone. Like I had a cool daddy, you know what I'm saying? There's some other people out here not doing what they do. Why did he have to go? Why did my cousin
Mm,
have to go? And so was dealing with all of that. And so I started to use food to fill those voids, right? I started to use alcohol, like abusing it, and also the relationship with my fiance and whoever else I was dealing with at the time.
right.
So I call it the fam, right? Food, alcohol, and men. That was the fam. I was hanging out with
Mm,
the fam heavy, and
mm,
it caused me to go into a deep dark depression. And
right.
so the only way I could really get out of that was I ended up leaving that relationship with him and went through a program at my church that helped me to heal physically, mentally, and spiritually. And I also had a community of strong, powerful women who wanted to
Right.
see me different. And so that was my story. I went through that program, changed, dropped some weight. Mentally, I changed all of that good stuff. And
Yeah.
so because of that, I knew it was the relationship, something that I had to release and something that I had to grab a hold
Right.
to really be the person that I am today. Running a business, happily married with 3 kids, and living the life that I want to live. So yeah, that's
Mhm.
kind of my story.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's powerful, guys. And I want you guys to pay attention to this live because the things that we're gonna share with y'all, right? There was something that propelled us forward, right? And we're gonna talk about those things that propelled us forward, like in a more positive way, but also it was like it got to a point, and you can, let me know if I'm right or wrong, Lynnette, but you got to a point where you was like, I can't do that anymore, right? Like the negative part taught you something too, right? Going back, exactly. Like you don't want to go back, and like, my story, I had an unhealthy relationship with with women, with alcohol, with sex for a very, very, very long time, and like I started drinking alcohol, I was what, like a sophomore in high school. Like who's doing that in high school?
Yeah.
Like every day, but it got worse as I got older. The industry that I was in, like when I turned 21, I became a party promoter in Chicago, and I did that for 8 years. And I mean, every single day I was drinking alcohol. Even when I was at home, even though I was at home and I'm just eating, dinner or something, I got a, a glass of scotch, Johnny Walker, right? Blue Label, right? Or I got a Corona, right? Or a wine cooler. Like it had to be some type of alcoholic beverage
Getting it
when I
all the
was,
way in,
yeah,
okay?
getting all the way in. And I remember driving home from, the clubs, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And, I'm at the club, so I'm getting alcohol for free. So I'm like 10, 12 drinks in, and I'm driving home, you know, and God forbid, shout out to God covering me. I'm still here, right? And I never had to get a DUI, but as I got older, I started to see the relationship that I had with alcohol, how it was affecting my other relationships, and also how it affected my relationships in the past, right? Like from at 18, you're a grown person, you're a grown man, but the people that you're around, they
Mm.
not calling you out on your shit. I never had anybody tell me that I had a drinking problem.
Come
you
on.
know
Wow.
so it's like sometimes, and I'm not saying that it's there, and we could talk, we gonna get into, like, we gonna talk about this later and stuff like that too, but I'm not saying it's their responsibility, right? It's my responsibility, but I kept coming around these people and hanging around the same people that was okay with what I was doing,
Hmm.
and it got to a point where I wasn't okay with what I was doing. So when I dropped the alcohol, guess what else I dropped?
The
Stop
people.
hanging out with the people, you know?
Yep.
And I think, like I'm sure, Lynnette, you talk to, hundreds of women about their health and fitness. I to hundreds of women about their business, right? And a lot of times, the reason why people don't move forward with something is because of a like a habit that they have, been exposed to from a past relationship. That's a person, place, or thing.
Hmm.
That's a person, place, or thing. You
That's
know.
good.
So, tell me, what are some relationships that have propelled you forward? Actually, though.
Yeah, and it's so cool that you asked that. And one shout out to the FEA, just no lie, but those relationships, just being around other positive women who have a goal, who
Yeah.
have a group of people that they want to reach, like that has really helped to propel me forward. Like, and then first of all, my relationship with God
Yeah.
really helped to move me to another place because, like, I knew whatever that I wanted to do, I wanted to glorify him. And
Yep.
so because of that, I had no choice but to change. Like, he really changed my heart. I know that might sound crazy or cliche,
Hmm.
but when that changed, my heart totally connected to my mind. So I couldn't be the same person. Like, I saw myself first as being dead. Like, the things that I was doing, I was dead. And now because I have a relationship with him, I'm alive.
Yeah.
And people who are alive don't do the same thing that dead people do,
Yeah.
right? So when you live in, it's just different. And I wanted to live. Not only did I want to live, but I wanted to thrive and be an example for other women. Like, you don't have to deal with so many different men, or you don't have to use food, right? Because it was a void, it was a hole that I was trying to fill. So my relationship with God really propelled me to another level. Like, I used to actually call it like a launching pad. Like, it launched me to another place. I was cool, I was good, because here you probably was good doing your thing as a party promoter, right? Maybe on the top of your game. And I felt like, even for me, like graduating from, I'll just say, like, Howard University, I'm there, I'm doing my thing, but I wasn't the person that I was always supposed to be.
Right.
Like, my identity was totally wrapped in something else.
Yep.
So I think that relationship, to answer your question, my relationship with God, my relationship with other people to keep me accountable, and
Yeah.
like you said, people calling you out on your stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I never forget. I was like, yeah, I need to let this relationship go. And one of the girls in the group I was in at my church was like, Lynnette needs to let this relationship go. Like, literally called me out. It was like, you not calling him no more. Like, block his number.
Yeah.
I think I said that the other day. Alexa, block his number. Like, literally, my friend was like, block his number, because I probably wasn't gonna do it on my own, to be totally honest. So I needed some help there, and they gave me that push that I needed.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that. So listen, right? Y'all heard me say that. You know, I don't think I really ever talked about this, yo. So this is kind of like, you know, whatever. It is what it is, right? It's part of my past, but this is, you know, it's helped me become the man that I am today, the father that I am today, you know. But I just treat women like shit. I was that dude. Like, I was that toxic dude, you know, in my 20s and in my teens, you know. And even when I'm, you know, just talking about it now, I don't even know where the hell it came from. You know what? Right? Because inside of my household, I didn't see my mom treat my dad like that. I didn't see my dad treat my sisters like that, right? But my dad was a military guy, right? So me and my dad didn't have like that bond. We just didn't. It was like, I'm your dad. It was more of like he was dictating me, right?
Mm-hmm.
He could. He didn't grow up with it. The hell you want me to go?
Yeah. So one thing I was thinking about, just know that, because I was going to actually ask you this, if you went kind of cold turkey, right? Or was it like a process?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I go cold turkey. Like that's just who
Killer.
I'm not a 1 foot in, 1 foot out type of guy. I'm not a you know, lukewarm. I'm either like
Yeah.
frozen or I'm like
Oh,
blazing hot.
that's good. Look,
So,
if only all of us could be as good as Coach Harry, right? Because I mean, that's one thing I think about. Like, I think when you make the decision, right, that's the first thing. You gotta be willing to make a decision.
yeah.
Like, once you decide, then you can move forward,
Mm-hmm.
like, with what you really want to do. But I also say, some things may take time. You might go back, right? Because I remember when I was like, yeah, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
It was times when I got a call,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I might go ahead and hit
Yeah.
that right, real quick. But it's okay. Like, not allowing setbacks to throw you off your game. A setback is just a setup for a comeback, right? And so I think about also just taking it one day at a time. Like, the only way to eat an elephant is one bite at a time. So I think that's easier when it's something that you're trying to let go. So if you know, I'll just use this as an example. You love potato chips,
Mm-hmm.
but you're trying to get your waistline right?
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna be like, well, I'm just not gonna eat no more potato chips. You can just say, okay, today I'm not going to eat potato chips. And then you say it again tomorrow. Today, I'm not going to eat it. And by the time you know it, a week has gone by, a month has gone by, and you haven't, you're not slave to it, right? Because it's chips, of course, if you want to maybe have it bad when you good, when it's not your vice, then you could take it back on. But just doing it kind of one day, one step at a time.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, like, that's kind of like when I went cold turkey. Like, I think I started drinking wine maybe 3 or 4 years after just stopped drinking completely. you know, and it's still like just super occasionally, like, you know, not like every weekend or anything like that, just because it's, you know, it's like overrated to me anyway, you know. But with like just video games, I went cold turkey with that. I just don't. It just doesn't serve me, you know. But like Lynnette said, right? Just making sure you're not a slave to it. You know, you don't got to go cold turkey like I did, right? Like you can come up with, you know, your own strategy. Just make, like she said, make a decision and just take it one step at a time. But what I would say is, you know, replacing the if it's a person, you want to replace this person with another person, right? One, you want to replace it with a stronger relationship with God, even because like at the time I always had a relationship with God, but like during that time in my life, like it wasn't as strong as it is now. It just wasn't, you know. So one of the first things I did, it's funny, like this is the young lady, my friend Brandy. She does like some of my graphics now. She has her own graphic designer, but you know, she took me to church. That's what's when, like, and I drove all the way. Oh, we drove all the way out to Kankakee. Why she go to church in Kankakee? I have no idea. But we drove all the way out to Kankakee, went to church, and Jeremiah came with me, and that was the day that like my life just changed. You know what I'm saying? So replacing that, whoever that person is, and getting a closer relationship with God and getting a closer relationship with yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Because at the end of the day, if you got a mission and you got a purpose here on this earth, you got to be able to fill your cup up, man. And people, it's like for whatever reason, people shame the you know, like making sure you good. Like you're not selfish if you make sure you good, because if you good and you performing at a high level, then you can help everybody else around you. But if you not good, you running on an empty cup, you not taking care of yourself, how the hell you gonna take care of everybody else? You can try, but you won't be able to do it at a high level. You know what I'm saying? So just having that healthy relationship with yourself, and then if it's a place, you want to change your environment. You know, if you in an unhealthy environment right now, like exchange that environment for another one. Whatever you need to do, however you need to do it, but make sure you do it. You know.
Yeah.
And with the theme, like instead of me going to the clubs, instead of me playing video games, right? I started going to the gym, right? Instead of me drinking alcohol, I started eating healthy. I exchanged it for something else, because if you try and just remove the alcohol and you don't got nothing to exchange it with, guess what you're gonna go back to? You're gonna go back to the alcohol.
That's right.
So when you remove things from your life, you have to replace it with something else that's gonna, because it's gonna occupy your time. Because at the end of the day, it's 24 hours every single day. So either gonna sit there and drink the alcohol, or you can just sit there and think about the alcohol, or you can say, I'm gonna go to the gym, or I'm gonna go work on my business, or I'm gonna go out and meet, you know, people that I want to be around. I'm gonna go out and meet a mentor. I'm gonna go to church, right? There's other positive things that you can do with that time, because like we said, time don't got feelings.
Come on.
But it's gonna come. It's still gonna go. If you
That's
say
right.
real quick, it's gonna be like, I don't care, sis. I don't care, bro. I'm going to keep going,
I'm moving, right?
moving. So you got to do something with the time.
Man, I think you took my answer, man. This is what I was gonna add, because I was like, you gotta take action, right?
Yeah.
It was like you gotta do it. Like if it's something that you want to, you just gotta do it. You gotta take action. Don't sit and don't wait on it, because what's gonna set in is fear,
Yeah.
doubt, all of that stuff is gonna set in. So you have to take action. It all starts right here in your mind. Like the most powerful tool you have is your mind. So don't let that doubt and fear and procrastination set in. Go ahead and take action once you make that decision, and then just get it done.
Yeah. Yeah. Because we all have fear. We
Mm-hmm.
all, I sit in rooms like this past weekend. I was in a room. Everybody in the room is making multi 6 figures or 7 figures, and guess what? We all deal with fear. But guess what? We all still in the room.
Come on.
right? So when you have you're gonna have anytime you have that fear, you got to activate the faith. Anytime you have the doubt, you got to activate the courage. Anytime you have procrastination, you got to activate being proactive. So it's not that you won't ever have these feelings. You just got to make sure they don't last that fast, and another feeling gets activated quicker.
Woo!
That's,
Knowledge.
yeah, because we all human. I promise you guys, we all human. We all human. And it's like if you sit around and try and wait for the fear to go away, it will never go away until you actually take action.
Right.
You ever felt like, oh, you was like too scared to jump, and then when you jump, you was like, oh, it's not that bad. Everything's like that.
Yep.
Building a
Yep.
bit, building your body, building your health, right? Getting into that relationship, whatever it is. Everything is not as scary as you think it is. It's just scary because you never done it before.
Come on.
But once you do it over, I remember the first time I invested like in like mentorship and coaching. I was scared as shit. I was scared. I made a decision to move in with my parents. I was driving Lyft at the time. I stayed with my parents for 3 months. I saved up the money and then I did it. But that was the first time I actually did it. But now I'm sitting here talking to you guys, and I've invested over $150,000 into my personal and professional development.
Wow.
It's not, at the first time it was scary, but now it's like, whatever. So everything, I promise you, every single thing works like that. But when you have that fear, you got to activate that faith, have that doubt, activate, that courage. You had a procrastination, just be proactive.
Yeah. That's so dope. No other words for it, right? Because that's it. You have to, just thinking about what you said, I think that's something else. Once you let go of those relationships, like filling it with something else. And I think investing in yourself and, like you said, learning who you are, investing that time into yourself, investing the money into yourself so you can be better and be the best version of you that you can be. Because the thing is, I feel like anybody, I'm not just going to say as women, but we tend to put more investment be as opposed to ourselves, right? The things that we can't get back, like our mind. Like, your mind is priceless. You can never get that back. Like, so why not invest in that first? Because that's what's going to take you places. The ideas you get, the rooms that you get in with people who are powerful, people who have more information than you, people who have done what you want to do. Like, investing in that is going to be so much powerful than investing in, let's say, a purse, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So
And like that's a whole nother live. But it needs to take place, and it needs to take place often, especially in our community. I was talking to a young lady the other day. She's super dope too, super dope. I was talking to her the other day, and we was actually talking about like the recent post I did like 2 days ago when I was like, black people. It was like quote quote, black people won't pay $1,000 for a personal trainer, let alone online fitness coach. Somebody's personal trainer, right? And she was like, well, I think people. I don't. She's like, well, yeah, I don't think black women will do it. They'll spend money on this stuff. They'll spend money on that stuff, that stuff, that stuff, this stuff, that stuff. And it at the end of the day, it just all comes back to the relationships they've been exposed to, the people that they grew up around, they auntie, they cousin, like whatever it is. Like it was like they value those were the things that they valued, right? But one of the things that really changed my life was coming across a mentor, right? Like his name is Frank Kimbrough. Like shout out to Frank Kimbrough. Like his wife is my CPA. Like this dude changed my life. Seriously. And I just met him in like a currency exchange. And I
wow.
just had, yeah. And I just had like the courage to say something to him. I don't know if you know what Five Links is. You know what Five Links is?
Yeah.
He was like top earner in Five Links, had the Bentley Five Links.
Wow.
had the Bentley 5 Links outside, the 5 Links Bentley outside. And at the time, this is when I knew I wanted to just not do party promoting, but I wasn't sure. So anyway, fast forward, I said something to him, and he like, yeah, so we started talking. He's like, man, come to my house. He invited me to his house, and then that was like the first time I was able to see like a husband and wife like build like a successful business. And he was one of the first people I've ever heard say that he spent, he's invested 6 figures into his personal and professional development, and like just being around him, like changed my whole entire mindset.
Yeah.
But honestly, like if we can go deeper, like what really gave me the courage to actually even want to say something to him? My father put something in me. I don't know what it was, but he put something in me for me to be, brave enough and had enough courage to just say, hey, so I see you got the 5 Link Bentley outside. That one changed my life, guys. Man.
That's real.
Man.
And we are so glad for Mr. Kimbrough, because you are out here changing our lives too. So we appreciate it. Like,
For sure. Me to get all choked up.
we didn't get real here on the live today. You know what I'm saying? It's about relationships, right?
Yeah.
And so just thinking about the relationships that have propelled us forward, like literally changed our lives. And, even knowing like that's the reason why you do what you do, like changing our lives, making sure that as women, right, we can be who we need to be. We can show up for our families and show up for other women. And it's just like a domino effect. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And funny story too. This was like years ago. I had to like file bankruptcy, right? I don't think I ever shared this. I had to file bankruptcy. Like, dude had my back. I had to file, right? And like I needed to borrow some bread, man. I didn't really have nobody else to call, and I called him, right? And he loaned me some money. And he never asked for it back. And like last year, beginning of 2020, I called him and I was like, I'm talking about this was like 6 years later. I called him. I'm like, Big Frank, what's your Zelle, bro? I just, like it was just on my heart. He didn't ask for it back, but it was just on my heart. Like, what's your Zelle, bro? I got to send you this bread back, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because you really looked out for me. And, and I just sent it to him. You know what I'm saying? Just like out of like I'm a man of integrity like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and I'm not saying I'm perfect, right? I done fucked up. I didn't, did people wrong. People that did me wrong. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but what like the things that he did in my life, like I owe him so much. I'm not the only value is money, but for him to look out for me at the time when nobody else could really look out for me, like
means everything.
Yeah, it means everything. Pay your dues, And one day I want to be that to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? But just me having that relationship with him years ago has impacted my life and my business in so many different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I'm speechless. I'm like,
got me on here getting all, man, what you on?
it's so real. No, it's real. And I'll just say, because I know we probably coming to probably about the end of our time, but definitely thankful for the mentorship and what we get in FEA. Like seriously, just shameless plug to all the people out here following us and following Coach Harry. If you are thinking about joining, like don't sit on the fence. It's life changing. You're gonna make some wonderful relationships. You get people who really care about you, who want to see you grow, who want to see you thrive, and who want to see you reach the women that you need to reach and get paid what you're worth for it.
Absolutely.
So Come on, y'all. Take action. That's what we've been talking about tonight. Make the right relationships that you need. Make those count. Don't be fearful. Money is just a road, a vehicle that's going to lead you to your future. So the money will come too. If this is something you really desire, if you know your why, it's going to come. You're going to make it happen. And so as long as you think this is what I want to do, this is what I'm going to do, God will make a way for it to happen. So
Absolutely.
I'll just share that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Miss Lynnette, for it's so funny how this live just came about.
Yeah, really.
Last week, and you know, she was saying, you know, we was talking about her business, and I'm like, yo, like, if you want to jump on the live, like, we can do that, you know. And so yeah, like, that was this is how it is, just this is how it came about. So definitely it was right on time, you know. So
Yeah.
guys got I see people in the comments. Oh, somebody bought a badge. Thanks for the badge, Queen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ashley, what's up? Yes, FBA is life changing. Thank you for all you do. Thank you, Ashley. Yes, more than just about business. They care about you. Thank you, Chinea. Thank you. Thank you. All this love. Thank you both for sharing some great information and experience. Thank you, Queen. Appreciate it. Cool. Yeah. The replay will be on YouTube. It'll be, you know, on all podcast streaming platforms. Okay. So you guys follow Lynnette. Let them know your Instagram again, Lynnette.
Yeah, Lynnette Smyer. So that's Lynnette with 2 N's, LYNNETTE, Smyer, SMYER_T48fit.
Let's go. Cool. All right, guys. We'll see you guys on the next episode of Empower Your Fitness Empire podcast. And you guys have a wonderful night.
All right.
Bye.